Welcome to Lesson 1. If you just watched the intro video, you'll know that what we're going for here is conversation in Brazilian Portuguese. And the first building block that I want to give you is oi, the first word. And as you can see, this spreadsheet format, that cell, think of it like a building block, and that theme will continue to come up as we go. But yeah, first word is oi. Oi means hi, and I can label that underneath. I won't always label everything, but just to kind of show you how those values are equal as that building list. When oi is hi, all right. So again, with that conversation strategy, that conversation is like playing a tennis game. You can ask me, or not ask me, but say hi now. You can just say hi, right? So when I see you next time, I'll say oi, and you're like oi, And with your Brazilian, Portuguese speaking friends or family or whoever it may be, you say oi, and that's that. So listen, you don't have to wait to begin conversing, right? Don't wait. We're not starting with colors, numbers, and alphabet here. We're starting with conversation. So you say oi, and very common. I got to tell you this right away. You say tudo bang, tudo bang. Okay, tu. Say that with me. Tu do, like a straight up do sound, and then bang, as if you were saying like bang, like a, all right, B-A-N-G. There's that N-G sound to bang. Okay, so to do bang. All right, pronounce it like you hear it. Don't pronounce it like you see it, because don't look back later and think, oh, is it to do bem? Because it's not. You see what I mean? Say it like you hear it, not like how you see it necessarily. So you go to do bang, and that literally means all good. Literally means all good. So tudo is all, and bang, it means good. And this is the number one way, that people greet in Brazilian Portuguese. It's hi, all good, right? It's like how we say, hey, how you doing? And you can use this pretty much with everyone. I mean, it's not very formal. It's not very informal. You say oi to the bang, okay? And where should we go from here? Let me jump right in to something more. Falo means I speak. Falo means I speak. So here's the point. We're trying to do two things at once. The first thing is create conversation, and the second is to start to see how the language works, how the patterns of the language work. And so that's what grammar is. It's the patterns of the language, and so we're trying to do. Now, if you speak a little Portuguese with someone, they might be wondering, do you do you really speak Portuguese or what? And so let's just bring up this topic of speaking languages, right? So falo means I speak, and the word for Portuguese is português. However I get the, all right, there it is. Falo. Now I'm not going to label that. You know what that is. So falo Português. Listen to the falo. Remember how we said tudo, falo, not follow, but falo, Português, kind of a Português, right? Your pronunciation doesn't need to be so like the main thing is you get your point across at the beginning, and those things will take care of themselves. So just kind of say it as you hear it. Falo Português, and why not? Pouco. Pouco de, which literally means a bit of. So a little. It's basically like I speak a little Portuguese is basically, okay? So falo pouco de português. Spread it out. So falo pouco de português. Okay, now again, I'm giving this expression to you because I find this expression to be one of the most helpful things that you can say when having a conversation in Portuguese. And so why is that? It's because if I speak Portuguese to someone, they are going to tell right away that I just started learning Portuguese, right? And so they'll say, oh, no, don't worry, I speak, my saying, oh, listen, falo pouco de português, it kind of tells them that I'm looking to practice. It lets the person know what. So anyways, it's a helpful expression. Of course, I speak a little Portuguese, right? So falo pouco de português, right? Falo inglês is English, right? And that's that. Now, if I take that same verb falo and turn it into the second person form of a question, that's você fala, means do you speak? And now this is the first conversation sort of matrix that has come along, and this is going to be again a major theme as we go along, is mixing and matching verbs and vocabulary. So look at how the patterns the combinations are popping out. So I speak Portuguese, I speak English, I speak a little Portuguese, I speak a little English. Do you speak Portuguese? Do you speak English? Do you speak a little Portuguese? Do you speak a little English? Right? It's like 20 things that you can say based on just these couple words. At this point, you can ask me. Right? Pause the video in a second if you want to and practice this. Just practice, repeat it, visualize it, feel it. That you're serving to me the ball. You're serving the ball like in tennis, right? So you ask me a question. Ask me, Tony, do you speak Portuguese? All right? Do it now. Pause if you like and say do you speak Portuguese? In Portuguese. All right? Você fala português? Right? Você fala português, Tony? Right? Do it without looking. Don't read it. Try to just work it into your muscle memory. Você fala português? Ask me because you really want to know. Tony, você fala português? Right? You overhear someone speaking Portuguese on a airplane or at a cafe, and you go, excuse me, você fala português? And they'll say, oh yeah, no. Ask me if I speak English. All right, you say, Tony, você fala inglês? Right? We could keep growing. We could keep growing the list. You could say, Tony, você fala espanhol? Espanhol, or you can say español. Some people make it a sh sound. Você fala espanhol? Você fala, insert whatever language you want. If the answer is yes, say sing. Now remember that ng sound at the end of bang? Sing means yes, and it's not seem with an M. It's a ng sound, truly. So you say sing. So if I asked you, do you speak English? You would say, yes, I speak English. So let me ask you in Portuguese if you speak English, and then you say, yeah, I speak English. So, você fala inglês? And then you go, sim, falo inglês. Sim, falo inglês, right? And then the opposite of seeing, it's, you say no. You say no. That squiggle, that tilde, I guess, over the A. It makes it a nasally sound. So instead of saying now, you say no, like trying to make it come out your nose, like no. All right, but just approximate it as well as you can. So anyway, seeing no, this and that. All right, now one more thing, real quick. If you say, oh my God, if you say, okay, finally, if you say não falo, you're saying I don't speak. Right? So yet another verb possibility, verb starting point that you can combine with the vocabulary here, right? So I don't speak Portuguese would be what? Não falo português. I don't speak English. Não falo inglês. I don't speak Spanish. Não falo espanhol. Just kind of repeat me. Just get used to it here, you see? All right. So now we got it. I mean, this is one game. This is one sort of little tree of possibilities, like some kind of algorithm that you can play, that you could follow, or it's one little court that we could have a set, a tennis set or something on this, you know, and we could go for a while. We could just keep going. You could, hey, você fala espanhol? Não falo espanhol. Falo inglês. Você fala inglês, and so on and so forth. So listen, it's very easy to create conversation. We see it happening here almost effortlessly. That's not the hard part. People think the studying and the memorizing, the grammar and the everything, all that's the hard part, and then it comes easy. That's not the case at all. The grammar and the theory of the language is not that hard. The true work happens in the practice of the language. That's where the actual learning happens, okay? So I'm trying to play with this with you. You know, I'm trying to say, ask me this, and I'll ask you, and now you say this and that. But I can only do so much, you know? Like, what matters is that you take these and, it plants a seed in your life. You know, like you use these things. You're using Portuguese in your life, you know. So anyways, that's it. That's how it looks. That's a set that we can play, you know. And then you keep going. We keep doing stuff. So if I say no, listen, so I don't speak much Portuguese, but estudo. So estudo means I study. And notice, by the way, that falo and estudo both end in an O. So that's part of what's going on there. Just 1 second, I want to make that, highlight it. So estudo, you know. So estudo, I study Portuguese. I'll just bring this down. Estudo português. Or estudo espanhol. Okay? Now watch this. Falo, right, which ends in O. And that O means I, right? I speak. While you speak is você fala, right? So notice this pattern. I'm highlighting it, right? So F-A-L and then O, and this one's F-A-L and then A, all right? So if you apply that same pattern, right? S-T-U-D, estud, U, right? Bring down, so same idea. What you want to be able to do is, so it's O is to A as O is to A, right? You notice that pattern. And we'll add você. Você means you. So it's like you study. Or do you study? Same thing. Do you study Portuguese? So yeah, noticing the pattern and then being able to apply the pattern elsewhere. So estudo português. Você estuda... Put a period, question mark. Você estuda português. Você estuda español. And now we can have another conversation, right? So grab a notebook now, too, if you want. You can you could start writing your own dialogues, kind of visualizing conversations that you may have in the future and working things out, sort of playing with it, interacting here with the matrix that is Brazilian Portuguese. And again, we're just going to keep building on these types of patterns, and once in a while I will even kind of pause and break and break it down. So, like your verb timeline. So past, present, and future, right? Just want to take a look real quick. We've looked at a couple present tense verbs, right? Falo and estudo. And that's in the present tense, right? I speak Portuguese. Or maybe I study Spanish. You know. And I just want to show you quickly that to me it just makes sense to think of your verb starting points. You know, how you build, how you begin the sentence. Just thinking of them as a timeline. You know, the way we think past, present, future from left to right. Just makes sense to me. So we could put the past tense pattern, and again I'm just going to highlight the ending. So falei means I spoke, all right? Which means, so you can do this yourself. You need to be able to see this, right? This analogy. Falo is to estudo as falei is to, right? Add the red part. Estudei. That's the pattern. That means past tense for I means I studied. So how would you say I studied Portuguese? You would say estudei Português. For example, I studied Portuguese today. The word for today is pronounced hoje. All right, say that with me. Hoje. Hoje is more like it. Hoje. Not G, but hoje. So yeah, I studied Portuguese today. You would say estudei português hoje. Right? Estudei, kind of like that. Estudei português hoje. How would you say I spoke Portuguese today? See how you're just mixing and matching? You're free to do this all day long. So I spoke Portuguese today, right? Falei português hoje. Okay? I studied Spanish today. Estudei espanhol hoje. Falei espanhol hoje, right? And I know this is borderline too much to take in all at once here. But that's okay because you don't have to learn everything and memorize everything at once. Just kind of know that it's out there. Or learn it right now. Either way. I'm going to speak. So just going to give you this as this last pattern here. I'm going to speak, okay? That's vou falar. Vou means I'm going. Falar, to speak, okay? Don't overthink it. Just say vou falar. So I'm going to speak. How do you say I'm going to speak Portuguese? Say vou falar português. I'm going to speak Spanish. Vou falar espanhol. Notice the ending. Plus vou. Okay? So you can convert that too. Say vou estudar. I'm going to speak Portuguese. So how do you say or study? I'm going to study Portuguese today. I'm going to study Portuguese today. Say, vou estudar português hoje. I'm going to study Spanish today. Vou estudar espanhol hoje. I'm going to speak Portuguese today. Vou falar português hoje. I'm going to study Portuguese today. Vou estudar português hoje. Okay? That will be the end of our first session. And, you have this PDF file to look over and practice. You have a blank notebook that you're starting a dedicated notebook to Portuguese where you can continue to interact with the language as far as you've learned it so far. practice thinking in Portuguese. Practice thinking just by using the things that we've learned so far. So no need to think about things that you don't know how to say. Just practice thinking the things that you do know how to say. In review, you could respond to hi. Do you speak Portuguese? Do you study? Tell me about what you study. What did you do today? Right? I studied Portuguese today. Estudei português hoje. What are you going to do today? Right? That's kind of a lot. You know what I mean? And hopefully, one of the other, an important takeaway is you see the mix and match nature of the language matrix. This is what's actually going on. We're mixing and matching verbs and vocabulary all day long when we speak any language whatsoever. Now, the patterns of the verb and so on and so forth, that grammar is going to continue to reveal itself to us throughout the conversation process. And so take as much time as you need before moving on to lesson 2, or jump right in. It's entirely up to you, of course, but have fun with it, and you can expect that as we move forward, there will be more and more mix and match conversation combinations and new patterns that allow us to have more conversation. So I hope you liked that first lesson, and I'll look forward to seeing